For phonics this week, we are working on I can read and write words with the vowel patterns AW that says ah, AU that says ah, AUGH that says ah, and AL that says ah in them. So notice that all of those vowel patterns make the same sound. Here are three examples of words where AW says ah. My turn, your turn. Jaw, paw, strawberry. Here are three words where AU says ah. My turn, your turn. Astronaut, launch, sausage. Here is an example of a word where AUGH says ah. My turn, your turn. Taught. Here is an example of a word where AL says ah, the L is silent. My turn, your turn. Walk. On the next slide, it says, read these words and sounds aloud. So you're going to practice the sounds that are in orange. These are our new sounds that we're focusing on this week, as well as sounds we focused on last week. And then you're going to read the blue words to practice our vowel patterns. If you would like to read the green, you can. You don't have to, those are not as important, but please do read the red sentence. So, my turn, your turn. Ah, 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 ng. So then on the blue, you're going to sound out the words if you don't know how to read them by just looking at them. So if I get to this word and I don't know how to read it by just looking at it, I start at the beginning and I go o, ah, n. Lawn, the word is lawn. Okay, so you'll read 1, 2, 3, 4 words that have the AW that says ah. Then this word, you'll notice, is the same word that was here in this slide. So let's say you don't remember it though. So you start at the beginning. T, ah, t. Taught, the word is taught. So you'll read these two words that have A-U-G-H that says ah. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 words that have A-L, where the L is silent and the A says ah. Here's an example. T, all, tall. Wait a minute, you're saying to me, wait, there is an L sound. Well, guess what? There's two L's in this word. So the A-L is what we're focusing on, and this L is silent. Let's look at a different one. Walk, walk. There. That only has the one L, so there is no L sound in that word because the L is silent. Then you've got 1, 2, 3, but on this line you have two words that have the AU that says ah. So my turn, your turn. Autumn. The word is autumn. Okay, your turn to sound it out. Good job. This line right here practices all the sounds that we just did. And then you're going to come down here and read the red sentence. When you're done with this slide, you go to this slide. This says, read this passage aloud. For a challenge, you're going to count and find how many AW, ah, AU, ah, AUGH, ah, and AL, ah words you found. I'm going to read the passage now. I want you to also read it. I am just reading it just to make sure that you've heard it once, and that if you're not sure what words are, you can come back and listen to this. It is still very important that you read it by yourself. When Paul was small, he crawled before he could walk. His mom always caught him before he could fall. His dad taught him to ride a trike before a bike. Paul would pause before beginning to talk. Now Paul is no longer small. He can walk and talk and ride a bike without help. He can draw and write and put together jigsaw puzzles. Paul is proud of all he can do. Now, I've been reading a long time, so I didn't have to sound anything out. If when you're reading, you have to sound words out, that is what good readers do when they don't know how to read a word. Make sure that you start at the beginning of the word when you're sounding it out, and make sure that you go to each word and carefully read each word as it is on the page. Good luck, and make sure to press the X and the blue turn-in button when you're done.